Hey folks, I'm going to be going over the valve lash adjustment for the Cummins QG 4000 generator. If you have an RV or a camper, that's a good chance that that's the generator that you have. I didn't see any YouTube videos on the valve lash adjustment, so I wanted to make one for you guys. Hopefully I can help some of you out. Let's go over tooling that you'll need. You'll need a 3/8 ratchet with a 14mm socket. You'll need an 8mm for these valve cover bolts, and then for the valve lash adjustment itself, you need a 14mm wrench, and I believe it takes an 11mm socket. And then as far as for measuring the valve lash, you're gonna need a good feeler gauge that goes from 2/1000 to 3/1000 and then has one in between. This 0.0025 will be a good guide, and basically we want to be as close to 2/1000 as we can. We can allow this 0.0025, but if we get to 3/1000, if you can slide that 3/1000 in there, that's too much gap and you need to keep adjusting. So I'm going to pull this cover and then we'll go ahead and get started on the procedure. Alright, so there's a good chance that this gasket is going to be stuck on here. If you just gently pry right here like this, should help pop that cover. I might also want to add that there's a good chance this gasket's going to rip or is leaking on this client's. Theirs is already leaking, so they need a new gasket. So it might be a good idea to order one ahead of time, because you're going to see, yeah, it's torn. Okay, cool. So these are our valves. This is our intake valve and our exhaust valve. You see how this one's loose? That means it's not engaged. The first step in this process that we want to do is make sure that neither one is engaged. So we're going to rotate the engine clockwise and make sure these are both loose before we start our adjustment. It is important that you rotate the engine the right way. That goes for every engine. Make sure you know the direction before you turn it by hand. Some people will try to tell you for this procedure you need to pull the spark plug. That's not true. This engine is super tiny and will turn over by hand, no problem. If it's not turning over by hand, then you got bigger issues than a valve lash adjustment. This valve lash adjustment should help with hard starting, or if under load the engine seems to be struggling. I don't know if I mentioned, Cummins says in their manual to have this done every 500 hours, but I've seen it go out before 500. I've seen it go out at 460, so I would recommend at least checking it at 400 hours. And then if you can get a 3/1000 feeler gauge under there, see, like, look at that one, that valve lash definitely needs to be done. So yeah, let me show you where you're going to rotate the engine. You're going to sneak your ratchet and 14mm back here. You'll feel that there's a nut in the center of the fan back here, and that's what we're going to be spinning, and simultaneously we're going to be looking at our valves to make sure that they're not depressed, and then we can start the adjustment itself. So I'm going to go ahead, sneak my ratchet in there, rotate it, look at these, and once both are loose, then you can start. Alright, if you're having a hard time turning it over with the ratchet down there, you can turn that fan by hand. It's just a little bit harder, but it accomplishes the same thing. So now we can see that they're both loose. Let me also add and note that this needs to be done on a stone cold engine. I would let it sit overnight and I would do it in the morning. So let's check our tolerances to see where we're at right now. I can get a 3/1000 feeler gauge in both of those, okay? So that's telling me this is definitely due for a valve lash adjustment. We want it to get as close to 2/1000 as possible without being able to get a 3/1000. We can let the 0.0025 slide in there. It's it's not preferred, but it's acceptable and within our tolerance range. So now we can start the actual adjustment. So what you'll want to do is you have your 14 millimeter on this bottom nut, okay, and you'll take your 11 millimeter and your 1/4 inch ratchet to this top nut, and then you're just gonna break it free. Sometimes they're really stuck on there, but it's right hand thread, so ooh, yeah, sometimes it can be a little stuck, but that's okay. So now we have them both loose, and really the concept here is very simple, but I want to stress to you guys, especially if you don't have a lot of mechanical experience, this can be done by someone with less experience, but the name of this game is patience. You're gonna have to do this adjustment 5, 6, maybe 10 times before you're gonna get it right. So just stay patient, keep doing your adjustments, keep checking with your feeler gauges, and eventually you will get there. Again, we want to get as close to 2000s without 3000s being able to fit. And what do I mean by that? So this bottom nut is what actually controls how tight this rocker arm is. Okay, this is your rocker arm, these are your valve springs, and then these little things in here, those are your keepers, and then what pushes this rocker arm is your push rod, and that lives back there. Okay, so we want to try to get, okay, so that's a little too tight. Okay, so I can get a 2000s, but I can still get a 3000s in there. And this is going to be, you're going to be moving that adjustment nut just by a hair, just barely touching it. Okay, and then it's hard, so I'm getting close. So that's the name of the game. And then what you'll do, all right folks, sorry to interrupt, I was out in the field and I misspoke, but what I should have said is the next step that I would take is that first part, you just kind of get it in the ballpark, and then what you'll do next is you'll snug up that top nut, and you don't want to crank it down all the way, but you'll still have some play on that bottom adjustment nut. And because these tolerances are fairly tight, it's a very tedious adjustment. I have found that having that top nut kind of snugged up while you're doing your adjustment can help kind of speed things along. So there's a little tip for you. All right, so a little bit of time has gone by. Hopefully your adjustment went well. I'm sure that you found that sometimes you have to kind of wiggle them in between measurements because they'll get kind of in a wonky position. But I've got my 3 gauges here, and you can see my 2000s fits in. It's got some drag. My other ones won't go in, and then same for this side. Hear that? It's got a bit of drag, but my other 2 don't. So we're back in tolerance. I'm going to throw this cover back on. If this thing comes out when you pull your gasket and everything, make sure you put that back in the right way. You'll see that it's flush, and then if your gasket's jacked up, it's kind of hard because you got to hold it and try to put the thing back on quickly. But make sure this is not askew when you put your cover back on. So I'll put the cover back on. We'll get this thing fired up and tested. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing primed and powered up. Now this client doesn't really take that good care of their generator, so it might take a few starts. You know, these bowls will clog up. But we're looking for a nice, strong, consistent idle. All right, folks, so from there, I would have that generator run for about 5 or 10 minutes or so, let it warm up, and then go in your RV or a toy hauler or whatever it is, and start turning on electrical loads, like especially the AC, something with a big load. See how the generator responds. Make sure it's not stalling out or wanting to stall out under something like that, so that you're thoroughly testing your work. And then I would just run it for like another half hour or so, or maybe even up to an hour, just to make sure everything's sounding right. I will have a word of caution. If you don't get it within that tolerance range, I've tried to get away with it. When I first tried to do this valve lash adjustment, I didn't have a good enough feeler gauge set. So I set it to like 5 or 4 thousandths, I can't remember, but whatever it was too much, and there was too much play between the rocker arm and the push rod, and it cracked that rocker arm. So then it had to be replaced, and then the procedure had to be completely redone. So make sure you get it within that tolerance range. I also forgot to mention in the video, a cranky no start can be caused by bad valve lash adjustment. There's only one cylinder in here, and if everything's not in order, right, that generator's not going to start. So that's another thing. If you guys want some more information on generators, like especially the electrical side, you know, we can always go into that. I don't know if I can get a hold of one to do a teardown video, but they're a good engine, dude. It's Cummins. Come on, they make good stuff. So hope that helps somebody out there, and hopefully you had a fun adventure outside of your garage.